Hey guys, this is a pick a card reading on no contact, meaning if you have no contact with the person that you're inquiring about and you want to see what's going on in their life, we can do that right now. So we have three options. Guys, don't mind my fingers. I was making curry chicken last night, so my fingernails are kind of like yellow. Um, Obviously, I washed it, curry stains fingernails, so it's gonna stay on there probably for like, I don't know, like 3 days. So yeah, no, I'm not dirty or gross. It's just the curry stained my nails, so I'm gonna say that as an announcement so everyone understands that. But we will choose between three options. Well, you would choose between three options. First one is the lead. Second one is the scissors. And the third option is the pen. Again, the first option is the lead. The second option is the scissors. And the third option is the pen. Okay, so we're gonna go with the lead. Okay, so this lead is tangled. So what's going on right now in this person's life? Because you guys don't really know because you're not in contact with them. They could be very confused about which way their life should be heading right now. So they could be confused about a career route, what they should do regarding their love life. There's just something in particular that they are very confused about, and they're not sure if they're taking the right route. Some of them kind of feel like they're taking the long way or the long route to do something, and they feel like it may not lead them to where they want to get to, or it's taking too long in leading them to where they want to get to. So they're quite frustrated about that. Um, I don't feel like they're talking to people much. I feel like they're acting quite mysterious around people, only because the lead's black. Um, yeah, but anyways, let's go. What is pile number one's person doing right now in life? How's their life right now? Wow. So we have the Two of Cups. It really fell on the floor. So for some of you, they're actually confused about what they should do with their connection with you. So you guys aren't speaking. You guys might have had a falling out, and they're kind of like, what should I do? Should I still try again with pile number one, or should I entertain another person? So this person, they feel like, you know, they always need to be in a relationship. They don't know how to be alone. So they're thinking, if it doesn't work out with you, then obviously I'm going to have to end up with someone else. They don't really understand what a break is. They won't take time just for themselves. They feel like in order to, you know, they need to feel like, need to feel validated. And in order for them to do that, that means they need to be in a relationship. So they may end up talking to exes or talking to new people that they don't really have a firm foundation with, just so that they're with someone, because they don't know how to be alone. And that's if you don't. So if you don't contact them, this is what they're most probably going to do. But right now they're in thinking mode because they don't know if their decision is going to be a good decision. Okay, we have the Two of Swords reverse. So very soon this person's going to make a decision. They're going to make a decision to be with someone. If it's not you, then it will be someone else. I did think this was more of a career type of read, but this person isn't so much focused on career. They're focused on a relationship. And I'm telling you guys, if you guys don't contact this person, I'm not saying you have to contact them. That's up to you. But if they don't hear from you soon, they're just going to end up being with someone else. And if they're not still thinking about it, they've already done it. So for some of you, they've already done this because you haven't contacted them. They're like, cool, we'll bet I'll just be with someone else. And some of you, they're thinking about being with someone else if they don't hear from you within like. There's two here, so there's Two of Swords, Two of Cups. If they don't hear from you, some of you is 2 days. If they don't hear from you within 2 days or 2 weeks, yeah, they're going to go speak to the other person. I don't get 2 months because this person's not waiting that long. They refuse because Two of Swords is upright. That's kind of like when you're making a decision after a long time of thinking. So, yeah, I say is about 2 days to 2 weeks. They're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to talk to someone else. So some of you, they're giving you a time limit to talk to them. But as I said, that's up to you guys. You guys don't have to talk to this person. But yeah, this is what they're most likely going to do. And this is what they're thinking about currently. Too many cards. No. I can only take 1 or 2. And it gave me 3. What's going on, pile number 1's person? The Knight of Wands. For some of you, this person's just going around sleeping with people. I don't know. So I know you probably didn't want to hear that, but this is, I kind of called this card the fuckboy card. And literally, because it's right under the Two of Cups, it's literally telling me that, the way that they kind of get into a relationship is they don't really court people for a long time. Traditionally, you'll just see someone, you'll talk with them, you'll go out to get something to eat, maybe spend a bit of time, and then get physical. This person, they're just, in order for them to form connections, they just get physical with the person straight away. So some of you, yeah, this person is most likely being intimate with others in order to get a connection with someone, because that's what they're eventually aiming for. Queen of Wands. So this person, in order to get a new partner, they're kind of acting like they're very confident. So really, internally, they're very confused. They feel quite lost. They're doubting their decisions, but to the public, they're making out that, they're very confident. They're very confident within their looks as well, their attitude. They come off with Queen of Wands energy, even if they're a man. And this is how they're attracting new people. And okay, another thing is they're attracting people that are more confident than them. Now, I know that sounds weird, but it's like, I know this is kind of rude to say as well, but they're kind of going for people that are a bit out of their league. I shouldn't really say that because we're all equal. But, like the person could be a bit more financially stable than them. But I think because there's the Queen of Wands, this is kind of telling me that they're trying to talk to people that are in popular positions. They won't talk to someone that's in a lower position than them, because this is the Knight and then this is the Queen of Wands. So they are the Knight of Wands and they're trying to attract a Queen of Wands. They're not trying to attract a Princess of Wands. They want a queen, but they're just a knight. They're not a king. So be it a man or woman, they're trying to attract someone of a higher popular position. And for some of you, I'm hearing this to make you jealous, is to make you upset. so that they can prove that they've moved on and they don't really care about you, and look, I found someone better looking than you and they're more confident than you. So it's to kind of like hurt your feelings as well, because you've hurt theirs. Now they have to go out and find someone new, and please believe the person that they find is going to be, in their eyes, or they're going to make out that this person is way better than you in many ways. So yeah, I'm just warning you guys that they will actually pick up another person to make you jealous as well. Because for some of you, they actually want to get back with you, but because you're not allowing this to happen, they are going to do something to spite you, basically, which is entertain someone that they think that you will think is better looking than you. At the bottom of the deck, we had the Eight of Pentacles. So a lot of these people are focusing on their career. So if they've stopped talking to you, they've just decided, okay, so my love life isn't going that well, obviously, because I'm not talking to this person, or I just can't see this person. So I'm just going to keep my head focused in books, school, work, business, and I'm just going to focus on me and my development. But the problem is they're not doing it in a slow way. They're doing it in a way so that they don't have to think about what's hurting them. They're just like, I just need to do, and they're not really sitting down and thinking about how, not that the connections hurt them, but how certain things in the connection has hurt them. They're not sitting down thinking about that. They're just thinking, I just need to do this, I need to do that, I need to focus on work, I need to focus on school. And then when I do get with someone, I need to make sure they're good looking. So anyone that I sleep with needs to be way good looking, better than better than Power One, basically. Yeah, let's get more information because this is interesting. What's going on with pile number one's person? What's going on with pile number one's person? Okay. Maui discovery is in reverse. Hypnos sleep is reversed. So this person isn't taking the time. So I just said this. They're not taking the time to really discover how they're feeling. They're not taking the time to think about, it's more like to think about what's going on internally and subconsciously with themselves. They're basically like, they don't want to focus on that because they feel that it's not very constructive and is not going to benefit them. So they're just thinking they just need to do stuff to not think about it, but really is not helping their development right now. Because, they're working very hard, they're not really getting much sleep. So again, for some of you, they're just focusing on work and school, and this is causing them not to sleep much. It's ruining their sleeping pattern, because the connection with you and them has kind of gone a bit weird as well, where you guys aren't really speaking, or that, you've just lost communication with them. They are having a hard time sleeping as well. So when it is time to go to bed, they're just basically like, I can't sleep because all I can think of is pile number one and what happened between me and pile number one, and now I can't even speak to pile number one because it's just awkward. So yeah, they're not getting much sleep. They're losing sleep. Also, the sleep card signifies that it confirms that they're not really focusing on their subconscious. Any dreams that they're having, they're not listening to it. Um, they're not really using their intuition well with the connections that they are bringing in. So they could be attracting partners that are just, that don't really like them or love them. They're attracting partners that are just more, you know, a bit show offy and focus on material stuff, but they don't really care as long as they feel some sort of intimacy with them. What else? What's going on with her number one person? Okay, that's too many cards. That one fell. So you have Dionysus, ecstasy. Yeah, so a lot of them are just overindulging, and it's particularly with people. Normally when I read this card, it's when someone's like over partying, and you know they're going out to parties and drinking and smoking. It's just like overindulging. But in this situation, it's more like they're overindulging in people. And it's not just people to party with, and that it's people to actually, you know, have sex with and to be in romantic connections with. They just want to feel loved, but the reality is that's not how love works. This is more, this person has a mentality of, if I'm physical with someone, that means we can form they can basically love me eventually, and that's not how love works. You either love someone or you don't. It doesn't depend on the physical nature of your connection, but this is how your person thinks, unfortunately. So, and this is why everything's just a bit of a spiral for them, or they just have a tangled way of thinking, unfortunately. I don't mean to offend your person, but these are the facts. Dedication is reverse. So the issue is this person's dedicated to their work. Anything to do with their career and finances, they are dedicated to, they are focusing on. However, they're not dedicated to themselves in terms of improving themselves, and they're not dedicated to the people that they are trying to talk to because they haven't given enough time to form a strong connection. So yeah, this is why dedication is reversed. And Akat, he kind of looks a bit, you know, aggressive here. It kind of just gives me the saying of they're not dealing with their demons. I'm not saying Akat is a demon, but, you know, he kind of looks like one here. And obviously, that's what I heard in my head. So this person's just not dealing with their demons. If you have recently broken up with this person, they're not dealing with it well. And if you have kind of lost contact with this person and you haven't been speaking to them quite often, they're not dealing with that well neither. And it's really affecting their life in some respect. Get more information. Okay. What's going on with Panabon's person? Okay, we have Amara de Menahune, or Menahune. a whole healing. They are healing, but it's a slow process right now. It's like they're not accepting what's happened between you and them, but slowly they will. It's just they're going through a healing process and it hasn't been complete yet. And this is why they're kind of acting out like this in their life right now. The three fates, what goes around comes around reversed. So this person may feel like, I've put a lot of effort in this connection with pile number one. I put a lot of time into it and I just feel like I'm not getting what I deserve. So after all the effort I've put in, pile number one has just decided they don't want to talk to me anymore. And that's what I get for even spending time with them. Like, they feel like you just disrespected them and you didn't respect their time. Even if this person has disrespected you, for some of you, they could have even put you in the third party because, there's 3 people on the card. They just feel like, but I put a lot of time into this and now it's just done. If this person stopped talking to you, they're feeling regretful about it. And now they're kind of feeling the bad karma of it because they know that was a bad decision and now you don't really want to talk to them because they've cut you off and they're just really sad. So they know that they eventually have to move on because you don't really want them anymore or because you're not really speaking to them, and they just feel like that's their bad luck and that's their karma because at the end of the day no one told them to stop talking to you. So sorry, it's not even funny, but yeah, that's how they're feeling. That's if they cut you off. If you've cut them off, they just feel like, how could you do that? I spent so much effort and time with you and you can just cut me off like that. So for the people where you've kind of cut this person off, they actually really did like you and it is really hard for them to move on right now. I need a card. No. Okay, guys, I'm not sure if those were flipped over already. Let me just do one more. That's too many cards. That's 3 cards. I just want one more. We have autumn is my last chance. Please don't lose hope. So this person is hoping that you actually will speak to them. They're hoping that you guys will talk again. They don't like that you guys aren't speaking. No matter who stopped talking to who, they basically don't want to lose hope in the connection. I know it says autumn is my last chance. So some of them so some of them, okay, here's a hint. Some of them are giving you till autumn to come back to them. So right now we're in June. So they might feel like, okay, I'm giving this person till, September, October, and then it's getting ridiculous now. That means I've waited for months and then I just need to move on. So I said initially 2 months. I said 2 weeks and 2 days. Some of them are waiting. But for some of you, this person will actually wait till autumn for you to contact them. And then they're just going to move on. So in that time period, they're not going to lose hope over their connection with you, even though you guys are not talking. But after that, after autumn, they feel like, okay, winter's coming now. I got to get, a winter bay. It's cold and that. No one's trying to go out like that. I need someone to, snuggle with because this person is very codependent. They need someone. So, yeah, I'm telling you guys, maximum autumn, they're just going to look elsewhere. Sea beacon fairy guidance, but where will it lead you is reversed. So that basically suggests that they don't know what to do right now. So they're freestyling with their life right now. Well, their life in general. Yeah, they're freestyling. So they're just like, well, I'm just going to see where this goes. I'm going to wait for pile number 1. They got till latest autumn and then I'm going to keep it stepping and moving. So, yeah. If you like this reading, like and subscribe to my channel. If you want a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. But now I'm going to go to pile number 2. Bye, guys. Pile number 2, this is if you chose the scissors. So what I'm getting is someone cut someone off. I feel like someone got cut off or someone got blocked. And this is why you guys aren't talking. Someone said, yep, I'm going to break the soul tie here because, you know, it's kind of hard to break soul ties. But anyway, someone just said, snip, I'm not doing this no more. They said, snip, I'm not doing it no more. You're gone, you're done out here. You can never speak to me again. Yeah, so someone just cut ties with someone. Also, this person, because of what's happened between you guys, they now have this whole vibe of, you know what, pile number 2 just cut me off, or I just ended things with pile number 2 and they've made me feel, you know, a way about it. So guess what? Everyone else in my life can get cut off too, because I really liked this person and it just went wrong. So guess what? I can't be bothered. So I feel like any person that's trying to speak to them now, it's just easy for them to cut them off because they're not really invested in them as much as they was invested in you in the first place. And even like their close friends, I feel like this has affected them so bad. Anyone that's kind of said anything off key or weird to them, after this whole no contact thing has happened between you two, they're just like, okay, well, don't talk to me again then, because that's fine. We don't need to speak again. They're being really anti with others around them because of what's happened between you two. Yeah, they was enduring a lot of cycles and they basically have now said, yeah, I'm not enduring these cycles no more. I'm done. Yeah, they've just have a very F it mentality now. And they actually have the balls to do it now because the scissors are yellow and that focuses on the solar plexus chakra, which focuses on your willpower and ego. And now their ego has kind of gone up and they now have the guts to basically say, everyone go away, don't talk to me. If you're not on my wavelength, don't talk to me. We don't need to speak. I'm feeling a lot of anger, so this person may feel very angry with you and some of you is with you and some of you is just with life in general because of what's happened. They're upset with the universe, they're just upset, so they're taking it out on everyone right now. Let's go. What's going on with pile number 2's person? 6 of Wands reversed. Okay, they have this effort mentality because they really feel like they're quite unsuccessful. They felt like the connection with you was just unsuccessful, and now what that has done is it's made them look at themselves in a bad way, in a way where they're a loser. So you know that whole thing recently where, you know, Kim K kind of feels like she's a loser because her relationship didn't work out with Kanye. Like, that's how this person feels. They just feel like, I spent all this time with pile number 2, like it hasn't worked out, so that basically means I'm a failure then. Like, how could it not work out? They even feel like something's wrong with them. They feel like, some of them feel embarrassed that the connection's over. They're like, what am I going to tell my friends, my family? What am I going to say to them? Because this kind of made my reputation good. And now that you're gone, my reputation isn't really that good. And now I feel like people are going to be ashamed of me. So basically, the whole cut off, no contact situation is embarrassing to them. And they feel like people are going to feel embarrassed of them. So, yeah. This person got a lot of praise for being with you. So if you didn't know that, their community was like, yeah, wow, how did you get pile number 2? You know, everything. Like, how did you even get them to speak to you? That's so great. And now that you're not speaking to them now, people are kind of like, that's an L still. That's an L. How did you lose pile number? That's an L. Like, you were supposed to keep that. That's just terrible. So people, they feel like people are really looking down on them and they're just really upset about it. So, yeah. Some of you, you did something that embarrassed this person, and that's why they cut you off. Because they're like, I can't take the embarrassment no more. Like, pile number two, you're actually embarrassing me, so they just cut you off. So if you ever wondered why pile number two is not talking to you, it's because you actually have embarrassed them. And for some of you, it's the fact that if they have cut you off, they was upset by it, and now they're kind of feeling like they're a nobody because you're gone. Okay, the Queen of Cups is here. So for some of you, their mother is really, they're really helping them during this time. So if you guys have stopped talking, this person obviously is going through a really emotionally irrational time. They're acting out, they're cutting people off, and their mother's very concerned. So she's really there for them, she's caring for them, and she's really listening to them. So that's for some of you. If you know their mother can be a bit too involved, that's what's happening. Also, there is a female, if it's not a mother, there's a female figure, let's say a female best friend, a sister, an aunt, who is just really there for them at this time, because the female relative or friend can kind of see that this person's not coping very well, so they're being really supportive. 8 of Cups reversed. So this person can't really emotionally detach from their situation with you. They don't know how to. They've tried, but they just can't do it. So on the outside, they've said, yeah, well, cool, don't speak to me no more, cut off, block. But internally, they can't emotionally detach from the situation, and their relatives and friends can see that. So yeah, some of them, they've cut off some of their relative and friends, and their relative and friends haven't actually got angry because they know why they're doing that. They know that they're acting out because they're not taking the no contact well with you. So yeah, everyone's just really understanding around them right now, but because of this, they just feel quiet. If they're a man, they feel very emasculated and embarrassed, and if they're female, they just feel embarrassed, full stop. Justice is reversed. So yeah, they feel like what happened between you two wasn't fair. So they might feel like you was unfair, and if you've cut them off, they feel like that wasn't right. How could you do that? That's not right. And it's the way you cut them off as well. If you cut them off a certain way, some of you did it abruptly, and they're kind of like, how could you do that? Why? That wasn't right. There's a certain way you do stuff, and they didn't respect the way that you did it. If they've cut you off and they stopped talking to you, they knew that was a bad thing, and they're embarrassed. You know when they thought they could cut you off and you was going to come back to them like everything's normal, and I think you guys just said, you're going to cut me off? Okay, bet. And this person's like, wait, what do you mean bet? And now, because of their ego, they can't say, oh wait, no, I was only joking, no, come back, part number 2. So like, they're very embarrassed, they know that wasn't right, and that's why some of them haven't contacted you, because they've said something that they didn't mean and it's embarrassing. So yeah, this person is trying to stay strong in the connection. What? Why did I say that? Strength card is here. No, this person is trying to... Okay, I said that because when I said they're trying to stay strong in the connection, in their head, they feel the connection's still there. So you guys might be listening like, there's no connection between us. They cut me off, or I cut them off. Like, we're not talking no more. But they kind of feel like, eventually you guys might speak again. So they're just hoping that will actually happen. And for some of them, they're just trying to stay strong, because I'm not going to lie to you, pile number 2, some of your people are kind of losing the plot, and their close ones can see this. It's a good thing they have their close ones looking out for them, because I cannot tell you how their life is going to go, because they're just doing too much right now. So you have a hold over them, and this is why they're acting a bit weird. But yeah, I want more information. going on pile number two's person? All focus. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you, they're kind of losing the plot in terms of like, they can't focus on their everyday life. They can't focus. They're having a hard time. When people are asking them something, they're like, huh, what? Huh? Okay, small percentage of you. Some of you, this person, because I see justice as kind of like a judge card as well. Some of them, you know, could potentially be looking at like a prison sentence or potentially looking at going to jail, and you've just cut them off during this time, and they're like, how could you do something like that? That's not right, when I'm actually going in. So that means you're not really a ride or die. You basically left me when I'm going to jail. Like, what type of person are you? So they're really upset about that, but that was for a small percentage of you. But yeah, anyways, they're losing focus on what they're supposed to be doing. They're getting easily distracted. They're very discombobulated right now. We have Odin guidance. So there's elders around them that are trying to keep them on the right track. But right now it's just very hard for them to even listen to them. So this could be their parents, and this could be it's like aunts and uncles, just older people, even like their peers, but it's peers that are like, I don't know, like 5-6 years older than them. They're really trying to advise them on what to do about the situation, and this person's just really not listening to them because, as I said, this person can be a bit egotistical. So they feel like, you know, it's their way or the highway. So people could be telling them, you know, if you just speak to pile number two, maybe you guys can sort it out. And they're like, no, I'm speaking to pile number two. How could they do that to me? How could they do that? Like, that's not right. So yeah, they're just being a bit ignorant right now. Cycles reversed. They could be feeling like they don't want the same. They don't want. Okay, for some of you, this is a connection where you get with the person, it cuts out. You get with the person, it cuts. You guys aren't talking anymore. So it's an on and off type of connection, and basically, this person's like, I don't want to experience that anymore. It's just ridiculous. I don't want to do it. So when people are advising them to speak to you again, they're just kind of like, no, I'm not going through that again. Some of you, it could just been, you guys could have probably just done one thing wrong, in their eyes anyway. You guys might be listening to this like, I didn't do anything wrong. And no, to them, it could have just been a thing where you actually done one thing wrong and they might have told you about this. And they're kind of like, no, that's not happening to me again. Like, you've done something that's kind of embarrassing me and I'm not having it. So yeah, that's why some of them aren't speaking to you. It's got to do a lot with embarrassment. Low-key play reverse. They're not being very playful. They're not being very entertaining like they usually are. Because they feel so embarrassed and down and unfocused, when people are kind of busting jokes with them, they're kind of like, that's not funny. They're being a bit of a killjoy right now, and it's kind of annoying, the people around them. Because they're just like, okay, cool, this guy or girl broke up with you, or you broke up with them, but can you kind of get over it? Like, you're really being a killjoy, and this is how people are feeling. What's going to pile number 2? Or pile number 2's person. You miss someone reversed. So they do miss you, but they're acting like they don't. So when people are kind of like, oh, just, speak to pile number 2 and see what's going on with them. They're kind of like, I don't care about no one cares about them. No one cares. Why do you keep mentioning them? Like, they're very in denial. And at this point, their close ones are just like, how do we help pile number 2's person? Because they're just so in denial about what's going on. They don't want to accept any vulnerability that they're feeling right now. So it's So what's happening is they are putting on a facade that they don't care, but you can blatantly see they care because they're doing some embarrassing actions subconsciously, basically. I don't know if that makes sense. Miracle, yeah. So they're hoping that you guys speak again, but they kind of feel at this point it's just a miracle. A miracle has to happen for you guys to speak again, because they're definitely not going to reach out to you. I can tell you right now, they're not going to, because this person has too much pride, like too much. So if you do reach out to them, I feel like they might speak to you if their ego doesn't get in the way. I'm not saying you guys have to, but I'm just saying the probability of them speaking to you, it depends how egotistical they're feeling that day. But low key, like deep down inside, they really would like it if you spoke to them again. Carnivorous flower theory, a tempting offer has a high price. So I think they're being tempted to talk to other people, right? Other people, they have other suitors, so other people are trying to speak to them, even though you guys aren't speaking. But they're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that, because obviously I know I've kind of cut off pile number 2, or they've cut me off. But the thing is, if I speak to this new person, everything that I invested in pile number 2 could just go out the window, because they could say something to me like, oh, so it took you that long to just it took you that quick to just move on to someone else, and they think that's a high price to pay, so they're just kind of hesitant to even do that. But they do have a lot of tempting offers, meaning other suitors that want to speak to them, but they're hesitant about it because they know that it would make you very upset. So they don't want to risk you kind of saying, well, no, it's actually done for good now. So yeah, they're going to think about that one. Then you have holding on way too tight, strangely lonely, written reverse. So yeah, they kind of feel like they physically let go of the connection, but emotionally they haven't, and that's what's going on with them. So if you like this reading, you can like and subscribe to my channel. If you want a personal reading, the details are in the description box below. But now I'm going to go to pile number 3. Pile number 3, this is if you chose the pen. So straight away, I can kind of tell you that your person's like, you know what, I'm in control of my life. I'm not talking to pile number 3, but it is what it is, you know, cool. I've got things I need to do, you know, I got to write my life out a certain way. I've got plans. This person could be writing a book. They could be writing a novel. They're just planning out their life right now, even though it didn't work out with you guys, or if you guys aren't really talking. If you guys, you know, are on good terms, but you're just not talking that much, they're just kind of like, okay, that's nice. I've got things to do, though. Life don't stop just because pile number 3 don't want to speak to me or can't speak to me. So this is a very productive person, and they're being very productive right now. Pile number 3. What is going on with pile number 3's person? Okay. So we have the 9 of Pentacles. So pile number 3, your person feels like, I'm still that bitch, I'm still that guy. Like, what do you mean? Okay, cool, I'm not talking to pal number 3 no more, but like, okay, what's not really an issue? I'm still getting money. I'm still getting money. I'm still, focusing on myself. I still look good. I look good. Okay? Like that doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So yeah, they're really feeling themselves right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I know some of you watching this like, okay, like, I know you didn't really want to hear that, but I'm telling you guys, they're feeling themselves. The high priestess is here. So unlike the other two pals, this person is really thinking about what happened between you and them. So if you guys have just stopped talking, they're thinking about the situation like, why did that actually happen? So I think the reason why they're very confident in themselves, unlike the other two pals, is because they've actually sat down and thought about what's happened. They thought about how they feel, what's going on subconsciously with them, why they behaved a certain way in the connection, why you behaved a certain way in the connection. They're really thinking about all these different aspects. And this is why they're very productive and they still, have confidence within themselves, because they're doing the inner work to figure out why that happened. So I would say, they're emotionally quite intelligent, and this is a very, very intuitive person. Gonna pound number 3 person. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups reversed and the Fool in reverse. So this person is just kind of like, all right, you know what? Things didn't really work out with pal number 3, because we're not talking, or obviously we've kind of lost contact, but I'm still going to do what I need to do. And I feel like they're a bit emotionally unavailable for other people right now. So if other people have spoken to them, which, why wouldn't they? Because they're seen, they view themselves as the 9 of Pentacles, which is, it's kind of like a bachelor or bachelorette. So because, they're viewed quite highly, they would get a lot of suitors. But the thing is, they're just very emotionally unavailable. So because they're very much focused on their life and improving it, they don't have time for other people right now. So yeah, their emotional availability has gone down. Not because they are healing, but it's not in a destructive way. It's in a way of, I don't have time to entertain another connection, and which would then make me not focus on my own life. They're like, I don't have time to do that because I've got things to do. So they've just accepted that I'm emotionally unavailable right now, and it's because of the connection I had with pal number 3. So it is what it is. I'll move forward when the time is right. They're not looking to start any new connections with other people. They don't think it's a good idea. Not because, men ain't shit and women ain't shit. It's because it's just not a good idea right now. They acknowledge the fact that they need to heal. So they're like, yeah, it's time for a break. It's time for a break romantically. Well, business-wise, let's get it, So I feel like this person is, going out to find out about different cultures. They're going out to find out about different ways of doing new things. They just basically want to explore new things right now. So even though, you guys aren't talking, the connection didn't work, they're kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to focus on this something new, or I'm going to meet up with my friends that I haven't spoken to in a long time, or I'm going to go meet up with people that I wasn't really meeting up with when I was talking to pal number 3. So they're really making the effort to travel and do new things and take new opportunities. So yeah, it's quite optimistic. I'm not gonna lie. If they're the one that cut you off, they just felt like it was the best thing for them, because no offense to you guys, but they kind of feel like the connection was tying them down. That's if they cut you off. If you cut them off, they're just like, it is what it is. He or she cut me off. Still gonna do what I need to do, I used this last. Why was I going to use that first? That's interesting. I'm not going to use that first. I'm going to use this one. I think they're trying to... I explain this? I won't say they're trying to do a lot of things in one time, but they're trying to learn a lot of things. They're trying to do things ahead of their time, which is similar to what pile number 2 is doing, or was it pile number 1? But this is in a productive way. This is in a way where I don't have time to dwell. I mean, okay, cool. When I'm alone, I wouldn't say this person dwells, but when I'm alone, I think about what was going on between me and pile number 3. But when it's daytime and I need to do things, I don't think about pile number 3. I've got things to do. There's a time and place to think about them. So they have a balance of when to think about you and when not to, if that makes sense. What's going on with pile number 3's person? Travel. Oh, see, Garuda travel. See, I told you guys they're actually traveling and doing a lot of things. They're being very productive. Some of them, they're embracing their culture more. They're going back. When I say back home, meaning they're visiting maybe the country that their parents or grandparents come from to, get more involved in the culture, to get better understanding of themselves. This is the mentality they have right now, or they're just traveling to get new opportunities, to discover new things, because they're just like, life don't stop because partner number 3 don't want to talk to me. What is this? Life don't stop just because I stopped talking to partner number 3. Jisoo's support is in reverse, so they don't feel much support from people around them, but they're like, there's just me. Oh, you guys should listen to that song. It's called Jill Scott. No, it's not called Jill Scott. Jill Scott's the singer, but it's called One Is the Magic Number. I think it's called that. I'll put it in the description box below. But they're just kind of like, all I have is me, and if people don't want to support me, that's fine. Yeah, they're like, all I have is me, so it is what it is. I was born into this world by myself, and I'm gonna do what I need to do. So yeah, this person is very independent, and they count on themselves. So I know it's kind of hard to hear pile number 3, but whether you're in their life or not, it's not really an issue. That's kind of hurtful to hear, but it is what it is, guys. It's not to say that they didn't love you, because they obviously did if they think about you when they have the time, but you're just not going to stop their hustle. They're just not allowing it. You're not going to stop their life experience. That's how they feel. On pile number 3's person. Too many cards. Is that 2? Yeah, that was 4 cards, guys. Nope. On pile number 2's person. What's going on pile number? No, pile number 2. No, pile number 3. On pile number 3's person. Okay, raw power is reversed, and Zeus leadership is reversed. So yeah, they've just decided no one's gonna have power over me. Well, power number 3 definitely not gonna have power over me. No one's gonna have leadership over me. I'm gonna do what I want, and yeah, I'm my own leader. I'm going to take back my power, and that's what they've said, and that's what they're doing. So this is a really positive and productive power, and I just knew it was going to be, because let me tell you something, pile number 3, your person's like, listen, I've got things to do. I'm waiting to see if I get an intuitive message, or if I see a card that kind of says they want you back. But so far, guys, they're not really. I don't think they care too tough right now. Oh, okay. I don't think I was supposed to take that card. What's going on with pile number three's person? Okay. Snow Angel, the signs are with you already reversed. So yeah, this person is kind of like, if there's a sign I'm supposed to talk to pile number three again, okay, whatever. Like, if they talk to me, they talk to me. I'm not focused too much on that. You know how sometimes, someone will, sometimes you go across the road and you look at like a banner on the bus or anywhere, and it can say a person's name, and then you're like, oh, you know what, I should actually call that person. This person, they would see something like that and be like, they wouldn't even notice. They don't pick up signs that they have to. So the thing is, I think they do see the signs because they are highly intuitive. However, they're not going to take that as a sign to say, okay, I need to speak to pile number three. So yeah, this is how they're behaving. Any sign that kind of disrupts their whole mojo of I need to do what I need to do, they're not going to take it in because they just feel like it's disruptive of what they're trying to do. Autumn is my last chance, please don't lose hope. So okay, that is a good sign. So for some of you, yeah, this person's not really going to talk to you unless you speak to them. And I'm not going to lie, guys, this is a definite one. Like let me know if this person actually speaks to you again, but I just get the vibe of they're not really going to, break their back to speak to you. If you do come back and speak to them, they'll be like, okay, cool. But they don't need you. So yeah, that's just how they feel. But they are holding on to hope that maybe they can speak with you again. But I'm just gonna let you guys know they are not gonna put their life on hold for you guys. And I don't know if that makes you guys feel a bit upset, but they're just really not gonna do it. This person is like a free spirit. So whoever your person is, they're a free spirit and they just want to do what they want to do. And if your plans kind of stop their plans or change where their plans were going, they're going to say bye to you because they're just not having it. Okay, she did want to come out. My bad. I actually tried to put her back in the pile, and the deck was like, no, girl, we said this card. So, all right, cool. Violet Angel, Breaking Dawn, but she's reversed. So, okay, I will tell you guys that they do remember your beauty. They did enjoy the times that they did have with you. But as I said, okay, they might be feeling a bit sad, but as I said, they're just not going to. They're not really going to be messaging you first. Sorry to tell you guys. They're just doing what they need to do in life, or what they feel they need to do in life. Ancient wisdom is reversed. They personally feel like they are a learner. When I say a learner, there's people in life that just really want to learn different things. So they have this mindset of I don't really know everything. So when it comes to their connection with you, they didn't really know what to do in it. They felt like they was a bit they wasn't very skilled in being a boyfriend or girlfriend or love interest. They didn't really know what they were supposed to do. They didn't really know their role well. So they're just like, well, it didn't work out. I tried. It is what it is. Maybe, later on I'll learn how I'm supposed to behave when it comes to that. But obviously at that time I didn't, and I'm not going to give myself hell for that. So yeah, they have a very blasé type of attitude. This person might have, Sagittarius in their sun, moon, just in their chart somewhere, or you might, but they're just pretty much like, it is what it is. It's very unbothered. But there's also a lot of things that they don't know that's out there in the world. And with you, I'm sorry if this sounds a bit sad, but they just felt like they couldn't really explore those things. And now that you're not really speaking to them, they're like, wow, I actually have the opportunity to find out new things of what's going on out in the world. And funnily enough, it's not really like, oh, I need to go out there and talk to new people romantically. No, not like that. They're just like, there's things I wanted to do, like, I don't know, go to the museum or, go to Mexico, and I couldn't really do that with pile number 3. So yeah, I'm kind of happy I can do that now. So they're just kind of like, I'm not going to lose hope to be with you again. Maybe I can be with you when I'm a bit older and I've done all the things I need to do. because some of you may be a bit more like homebodies, but they're people that like to go out and do stuff. So you guys might have completely different behaviors and attitudes. So because they're like, you know, partner three is like a homebody and I'm a go-getter, so let me just do my go-getting, and then when I'm old, maybe I'll just hang, you know, I'll be with partner number three, but right now I've got things to do. So it's not to be rude, but they're just like, no, that it is what it is. So yeah, if you like this reading, like, subscribe to my channel. If you want a personal reading, you can look in the description box below for details. But I'm gonna go now. So bye guys.